First thing to note is to get familiar with your view cube. This will be your navigation around the entire page. If you ever get so far gone that you don't know what way is up, you just hit the little house, it returns to the center point. Pan hand moves the page. Orbit is the same as the view cube. It just lets you go in one swift motion. I find it sometimes is the easiest way to get lost. So I like to slowly move the view cube. Your scrolly mouse will let you zoom in and out. You won't really need that zoom tool. You can just use your mouse. Now, notes, measurements, whatever you're working in is fine. Just make sure it's consistent. You measure your glasses in centimeters. You work in centimeters, measure in inches, work in inches. Up to you. When creating, I find it easiest to use the polyline or spline tool and just draw what you need and then extrude it. So, for example, if you were creating sunglasses, I'm just going to create my beautiful sketch as fast as possible just to get the idea of it. I'm using this as my centimeter grid, so measure out the space you need so that you know if you need your whole eye to be 4 centimeters. Note what 4 centimeters is in squares. Every square is 0.5 of a centimeter, if that helps. So when making your awesome glasses, you're going to use a tool to create your shape. Now, I'm clicking between the polyline and spline by just double clicking. The spline tool lets you do curves where polyline is straight, but I'm on the spline so I don't have to keep changing it. So if I want it to actually be straight, I double click and then I just click to recontinue my shape. So here I went over 1.5, so 1.5. Yeah, so sometimes it's really good to start mirroring and figure out what you are doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at that. Beautiful. And again, straight click, you have to double click. So click twice. And then click back on it to continue. And then I have my lovely ending point. Let's go straight, click to continue. Voila. First step, close. Great. Now I could then create my second sketch of where my glasses are going to be. Obviously, I want to see. I could easily use the ellipse tool to create the cutout, or again, I can freehand. It makes no difference, whatever you're more comfortable in. I find this ellipse tool sometimes more frustrating because you have to really know your measurements, per se. So I'm a visual person, so I like using the spline. But you're going to create basically an inside sketch and outside sketch. So you could choose to do it this way, and then you're going to create your second shell. Straight. Beautiful. Essentially what's going to happen is that you'll raise one and you won't raise the other. So please make sure you spend time measuring it. Obviously, I'm just eyeballing this right now, as if you do it per measurements, it will take a lot longer, which is great if you're actually planning on wearing them. But for the purpose of this tutorial, it would take too long. So just note how far over your clicks are going to be for each thing. And I'm trying to be perfectionist for no reason. There we go. Okay, close. So now that I have multiple things, I go back to my move tool here. So this section here, they're all separate. So I can use my extrude tool and choose to focus on different parts. I'm going to focus on this, and now here's your thickness of it. So note with the ruler, how thick do you want it to be? 1 centimeter? It might be too thick. I'm going to do 0.7 of a centimeter. And it's going to raise 0.7 of a centimeter. What that looks like that. Obviously, things to note. Currently, you are seeing my sketches, and you are seeing this as outline only. So if I hide the sketches, you'll see outline only. And if I show material at outline, you'll see our lovely glasses. Great basic frame to start. Couple things to note. How are your hinges going to connect? Do you need a place for a hole to connect, or are you going to have a cutout that they connect in? Obviously, if you're going to have a place where they latch in, then you'll need to create that shape for it. To modify basic things, for example, if you wanted these glasses to not be flat and you wanted them rounded, zoom on in, select the side and grab your fillet tool, fillet. Sometimes if you find you're too far out, it won't work, so I always zoom in to know what I'm doing. I find it's much easier to work with. And then you can start zooming out to actually see if it looks like what you want it to look like. See, it looks different from very different angles, but that's what it actually looks like. It starts to round it. You can do it on all the sides. You just need to actually select the line. So first click is the shape, and then second click is the line, and then the fillet tool is rounded, shaper is hard, and that creates your shape. You can look at the actual radius, so do the same for each one. And now we start to create it. So it's the same process for your sides. Do one, and then extrude it twice. So I'll do that really rough so you have a visual of what the heck that looks like. But again, I don't know how you're hinging these together, so if you need to add an extrusion where they're going to have a little screw, or if you're going to have a hinge that they hook into, you have to decide that part for sure. I'm going to just move this page over, top view. Okay, for the side, I'm going to show you the exact same thing. I'm going to grab my shape, do from here to here to here. Ooh. Beautiful. Close. So when you have this, as you want them to be symmetrical, when you do one right, all you need to do is extrude it twice. So you'll extrude your one shape, the 0.7 that I have going on, and then I'll just move this out of the way. And then I'll extrude it again. So you don't have to design it twice. That's not needed. And then you'll go back to your extrude tool, select 0.7, go, and you'll have it there twice. Again, I'm going to hide my sketches. I just find sometimes they get in the way. So I have my two sides. My wings, same deal. But there's going to be a part where you add it. So let me do it's over here and over here. So I grab my famous tool. I create my beautiful wing. Oh, that is so not a wing. Sorry. So sharp edge. There you go. Right. Sharp edge. Just going to do 3 so it's done faster, but voila, beautiful wing. Okay, let's say that's my wing. It's gorgeous, I know. Same deal, once you extrude it, and it can be anything you want now because it's something different. So maybe it's just a thin add-on, it's 0.5. This guy, you're going to use your move tool and move him, hello, move tool, and move him onto where you want him to fall on here. And you're going to need to use your view cube because you need to make sure it lines up from all angles. And you can select your move tool from the top or the bottom. But you're going to make sure that lines up properly. And then it's up to you if they intersect at all or just a little bit. But please, please, please check from multiple angles. It looks good on one and then it looks wonky from another. So make sure you go all the way around your view cube and that at every part it makes sense. When you have it the way you want, you're going to go up to combine and merge. And it says take your first piece, take your second piece, enter. And now this is one piece. So it will print together. Okay? The same deal still exists if you want to round pieces, if you'd like to add cutouts into it. You just have to actually have more lines if you want cutout parts. But that will add all the different effects for it, depending on what you're looking for. You can do that on multiple ones to different scalings. Before or after you merge, just fine. Again, if you zoom in, you'll have less error signs. But that's how you kind of create the basics of your glasses.